In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 best ideas to this book, Ikigai, the Japanese secret to long and happy life. Check this out. If you're new here, I post videos on personal development books, spirituality book summaries, and my intention of this channel is to help increase collective consciousness of the world. Basically, the energy and the frequency and vibration to help brighten your mind, to brighten your life, to brighten the world, to live in light and love. First, what is Ikigai in Japanese? And it's pronounced Ikigai. I know, I googled it first. But what is it? It's a Japanese concept for a reason of being. Iki, I-K-I, in Japanese means life. Gai, G-A-I, describes value or worth. The first best idea from this book, Ikigai, is having a deep purpose in life is the secret to longevity. They say in this book that if your job gives you Ikigai, then never quit it and find a way to stay there as long as possible. He talks about how Ikigai is like your hobby. It's something that you should never give up, that you just love to do. Can you yourself think of anything that brings you deep purpose or you just love to do as a hobby? Whether it be crocheting, whether it be reading books, whether it be video editing, whether it be spending time with your kids, something you just love to do. Going out in restaurants, trying different flavors. Never give up your hobby. It'll bring so much Ikigai into your life. This is why they say that in the Japanese culture, especially the Okinawans, when they retire from their job, they purposely find ways to keep themselves busy on things that they love to do. Things that they love to do, and not only that, but keep their mind and body busy. Whether it be gardening, whether it be doing puzzles, whether it be going for a walk and looking at the nice views, whether it be going out in your community and just chatting and just talking about good things, about how life is good, how a lot of them are just living their life. A lot of 100-year-old that live in Okinawans, they try to still find a purpose. When they retire, they don't just retire and just stop working and not doing anything. And that's what a lot of people, seems like that's what a lot of people do in the Western world. But unlike the Japanese, especially the Okinawans, they make it a purpose to find something that gives them Ikigai. A reason for being, a reason for living, a reason for being in the world. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and share, and comment below if you read this book. Liking and subscribing really helps with the algorithm to help bring more of this information to people who need it. Especially for the ones who want to lighten their world up, who feel down in darkness in a time where things might not be as bright as they like it to be. Subscribe now. Next best idea is an active mind and low stress are keys to a long life. They go on to talk about how it's important to exercise your brain as you get older. It's a challenge of getting stuck in routines, the same thing over and over and over, like activities that you do over and over and not willing to try new things. A way to get your brain to work out is doing puzzles, doing word puzzles, Sakudo, playing a game of chess, reading a book. Not only that, but reading a new book to get new ideas, viewpoints, and thoughts. And another hack is if you're reading a lot of fiction versus nonfiction, do opposite. Read more nonfiction versus fiction. You can even read books like mine, Success Habits. 10 simple ways that you can do right now to help increase your vibration, increase your mindset, and maybe find your Ikigai. Click the link below. Getting out of the house, meeting new people, discussing ideas, discussing new topics, discussing things you've learned from books. That is one way to get closer to your Ikigai. And it's different things that you can use to keep your mind thinking and exercising. Just like they say, your body needs to be in the gym. It needs to work out. It needs to move the blood flow. It needs everything. But reading and doing puzzles and things like that is exercise for your brain and your mind. The studies show that doing these things can even help prevent diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's because you're using your brain. They studies of the Okinawans who are centenarians. They live such a long life and they still have their memory. They still know who their family member is. They know their names. They know their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. Ikigai. The image at the back of the book. It shows here that Ikigai includes what you love, what you can be paid for, what the world needs, and what you are good at. Passion, mission, profession, vocation. The third best idea is avoiding unnecessary stress. I say unnecessary stress because my wife read this book called The Game of Fear a few years ago, and I looked into it as well. And she goes to say that in that book, stress in the caveman days was more about if an animal was chasing you and it was a life and death situation on survival. It had nothing to do with the stress of a workplace or stress of anything like that, or stress of not being able to pay a certain bill. It was a stress on life or death if they were able to live. The book said that stress is a natural human state of being, in extreme cases only. but it's not meant for situations like a work assignment or stressed over a job. The book mentions there was a doctor who had a series of strenuous job interview questions. He had to answer complex mathematical equations. They ended up doing a test on his blood when it was sampled during that stressful time. And what they found was very fascinating. They said that during the interview, he was releasing antibodies into his bloodstream, the same as if it has been infected with a virus or bacteria. And that's just from being stressed from an interview. It had nothing to do with having a virus being infected to him or bacteria, but it was the same type of result. As per the research, it said that antibodies also affected the health of the cells, which lead to aging faster and decreases the possibility of longevity. And that's why they say stress, unnecessary stress, is not worth it. It's not worth your health, because when you feel that way, you're actually feeling the same way as if a virus or bacteria like touched your blood or affected the blood the same way. So it's such a big game changer, and learning about that, just because I know out there a lot of people for sure like getting stressed. Like for myself, I do get stressed too, and I just have to remember to calm down. And hacks I use are, reading books and like meditation. That really helps that with lowering the stress levels of unnecessary stress. They also mentioned, which is why it's a key to lowering stress. Stress, they did studies, it's a majority, a high percentage of illnesses and sicknesses out there, because it's like attacking your body for no reason. And you got to do and find ways to lower your stress. Go outside for a walk, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day in the sun. It'll decrease your stress. Do yoga, meditate, take time to exercise, even just 10 to 15 minutes a day. Rebound, do what you can. Regular movement. Even they talk about karaoke, even just singing. There's a study done by a music therapist that presented at my work, and she said that when you are singing and dancing, it's a type of meditation. And it does lower your stress. That's the one thing I did this year, is dancing more. I started dancing with my coworkers, and it's so funny. We let loose in one of the rooms, and I kid you not, it's completely changed my year, and it's only been the second week of this year, 2024, and it's just amazing. So find ways to like lower your stress. They also go into talking about too much sitting, especially being a corporate worker. I have to be mindful of this, and all those corporate workers, not only in corporate, but like 9 to 5. Too much sitting slows down your metabolism. They say that sitting for 2 hours straight is detrimental to your health and longevity. They said every 50 minutes, you should stand up for at least 5 minutes. Walk around your floor, walk around your area, or even just at your desk. Just do some stretches and just stand up. Just no prolonged sitting over 2 hours. Another form of unnecessary stress is worry, being so worried about everything. And what I learned is that worry is triggered from the feeling of fear. Anything that you're worrying is something that you're deep down inside something fearful about. Avoid worry is one way Dale Carnegie talks about in his book, How to Stop Worrying and How to Start Living, is keep busy. Like, do your Ikigai. Be grateful. Think of 5 things that you're grateful for every day, or even better, write in a gratitude journal every single day. It'll completely help remove that worry in your life. They also talk about having good habits. Rise early. It gives you more time to do things that you want to do, and just start doing things that you enjoy. It'll help lower the worry in your life. Want another way to remove worry and stress out of your life? Click the link below for my free course, Brightened Mind Blueprint. It's a 5 simple step course that'll help you increase your spirit, increase your mood, maybe even help you find your Ikigai. It'll get you thinking about small ideas to help you change your vibration, to increase your vibration, to have inner peace and a joyful life. Click the link below now. The 4th best idea is, if you are way too stressed and on your way of breaking down, the Japanese use a thing called Morita therapy, which is systematic psychological therapy that aims to improve overall function rather than just target symptoms. This type of therapy gets the person to think about, to have the patience and accept life as it is, letting nature take its course, kind of like surrendering, or the surrender experiment. Just trusting that the universe or God, whatever you believe in, that things will work out to your ultimate advantage, and things will just work out if you just trust. This therapy focuses on, instead of just thinking positive when you really can't, feel that negative emotion. Accept it. Really feel, because the analogy I always use when it comes to positive thinking versus negative thinking, which some people can call toxic positivity, is basically if someone, for example, an analogy is someone who they have a garden and they want to plant roses, and the garden is full of weeds, but instead of removing those weeds, that person just decides to try to grow the roses over the weeds, not knowing that if they just remove those weeds, which is like the negative emotions, and like confronting it, instead of just masking it with positivity, even though deep down inside they're not feeling that, it can have an effect on them. Unlike if you remove those weeds, which is like accept it, confront those emotions. When you're trying to grow the roses on top of the weeds, that's like masking it with drugs, alcohol, food, avoidance, overworking. And you want to remove those weeds and those negative emotions by confronting those and seeing, this is how I felt, this is what I have to do. And from there, you want to replace it with positive emotions. Replace them, do your best to feel a little bit better. For some, you can't go from depressed all the way to happy in like one day. It takes time. You can probably go from depressed to angry, which is like a higher vibration, to a little bit higher, to annoyance, to a little bit higher, to acceptance, and on all the way to appreciation and joy. He talks in the book that one way to do this Morita therapy is to cut all distractions, cut out social media temporarily. Write in a journal with a white piece of paper and blue pen. Take daily walks. Do some breathing exercises, especially through your nose. Like my 4 square breathing here, you can click above, where you do 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding it, 4 seconds breathing out, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe in for 4 seconds. That's why it's called 4-box breathing. If you have availability, he talks about wood cutting is a good way for this Morita therapy. Painting and coloring, it creates new sets of emotions, including joy. And when you're done doing this whole Morita therapy of cutting things out for temporarily, you re-enter into the world and you feel like you're a different person with a new sense of calm and purpose. Ikigai. The next best idea is to immerse yourself in activity that'll keep you young, youthful, and purposeful. What's that one thing that you can do that really keeps you young, that makes you feel young and just you love to do, whether it be dancing, letting loose, singing karaoke in a funny way? When I imagine it, one of them for me is snowboarding. I love snowboarding, love being in the mountains. It's a type of meditative state when I'm carving down, and it's like an Ikigai of mine. And I stopped doing for a bit since my wife wasn't really into snowboarding, and it kind of freaked her out after she tried snowboarding in Australia years ago. It took 7 to 8 years, but luckily enough, she's a snowboarder, and we just like love being out there. It's like a natural high, fresh air, mountains. And think of something like that. Think of something in your life that brings you so much. It can be playing a sport. It can be painting. It can be coloring. It can be running around the yard with your kids, having fun and just enjoying the moment. Feeling like a kid again and immersing yourself in it and just having complete happiness and inner joy just because you just love to do it. It's something as though you can feel you can do like the rest of your life, as it mentions in the book. Something that you feel like it brings you so much bliss that, yep, this is something I can do for the rest of my life. It's just so much fun. They say in this book that achieving a sense of flow can help you stay young. Being in a state of being in deep enjoyment of that present activity that you're doing increases your enjoyment in life and longevity. They say in this book that's why focusing on your flow should be taken into more consideration than overeating, substance abuse, addictive behaviors, media and social media entertainment that bring you down. The book also explains that the Japanese eat certain foods that bring them Ikigai. The more in depth you are with your Ikigai, the less that you're more prone to overeat and do those addictive behaviors that do not serve you. What they do is they stop eating when they're 80% full. I know it's tough at times, but man, that's a hack. They say that your Ikigai, your job, should give you a sense of flow. And if it doesn't, make sure that you do have a hobby outside of your work that you can do in evenings and weekends that do give you Ikigai. That's so vitally important because a lot of people push, I don't want to work 9 to 5, I just want a business, but people don't realize that you do what works for you. If you feel stable at a 9 to 5, and you have that money coming in and you can do your Ikigai every evenings and weekends, then do it. If you feel like you want to build a business because that's your Ikigai, then do it. Because what you can do is when you're doing your Ikigai evenings and weekends, you could eventually move your job to doing your Ikigai full time. If you decide to make it into a business, creating a business around your hobby, around your Ikigai. And bonus ideas were just a simple hack of what they do to have longevity. One is they drink green tea every single day, and it has to be a good quality green tea with less chemicals, organic if possible. They say green tea has so many benefits. It's rejuvenating, tons of antioxidants, especially jasmine green tea. Apparently the study they say is that it boosts immune and cardio function, lowers cholesterol levels, manages blood sugar levels, improves circulation, and wards off infection. Another hack is white tea. They just say all of that with green tea except for more antioxidants. I'll link this book below if you're interested in getting a copy. Thank you for watching my 5 best ideas. See you in the next video.